This is Dimitri Fernando coming to you with another short video from Nation's Watchman. And this is also a follow-up to a discussion that I was having with a young person today. And what I realized was that young people today, it's different from when we were young back in the 80s and 90s, where we actually had the opportunity to use our brains and think for ourselves. We didn't have the internet there to spoon feed us and to tell us what to think. It wasn't easy. Young people today they think that they are having a big advantage, but I actually think it's a disadvantage because maybe they don't maybe they're not given the opportunity to actually think critically and employ logic and reasoning and their own intellect, because everything comes to them at the touch of a button. They think that they are smart, but actually they are not using their brains. They're just basically accepting what is given to them. Media has become a lot more sophisticated from the time it was when we were there, in the sense that now they believe that they can tell you how to think. When I was young, 20, 30 years ago, we actually had the time to think for ourselves. We had to read books, we had to research information. We didn't have media outlets telling us, believe in us, and getting politically active so much as we see today. We certainly didn't have weird ideas about gender and LGBT related things being forced onto us, where we have to cast aside all morality and believe in whatever we are told just to be politically correct. We didn't have that. We had to basically get along, but at the same time we had the right to speak our mind and to speak out for what is true. Fortunately, in Sri Lanka, that situation still is there. We can still speak out for what is true. It's not called as hate speech, though there are lots of activists who are coming and trying to put that onto us. So we at Nations Watchmen will stand against that and stand for truth and freedom and morality and being Christian, believing and standing up for what God says is right and true. So coming back to my point, people nowadays, young people particularly, are basically influenced greatly by what media says. They are told this is a trusted source, trust it. This is an untrusted source, don't trust it. But what they sometimes don't realize is that even though they think they are smarter and more sophisticated than their parents and grandparents, the truth is that it's a kind of manipulation where you're being told, think like this, talk like that, say this, don't say that, don't think that like this, don't think such and such, and think such and such. This is mind control. This is basically somebody telling you how to behave. They control you. They control your thoughts, they control the input, and they control the output. So what does that make you? It makes you some sort of a robot where you're under control. So realize that you need to think for yourself. You need to think based on absolute morality, not relativistic morality. Just to be clear, there is nothing called my truth and your truth. There is only the truth. And as a Christian, Jesus Christ says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. So whether you believe in Christ or not, there is still only one absolute truth. And the truth is what you see in reality. The truth is what you see in science. In whatever subject you talk about, the truth is what is there. You cannot make things up in your mind and change reality based on what you feel about it. So, for example, there is male, there is female, there are two sexes biologically. There is a medical condition known as intersex, which is where people have sexual organs of both male and female, but more often than not, both don't function properly, or maybe one functions properly but one doesn't, because obviously that person cannot impregnate themselves. Therefore, both do not function properly. And this is considered as a medical condition, not as a separate sex. But leftists and woke ideologists have taken this to be the I in LGBTQI and made it out to be far greater than it actually is, and made it out to be a separate sex alongside male and female, which is complete lie. So what I want to say is that the realities of gender, there's just two, And like that, there are many realities in the world which people are being encouraged to let go of and just abandon simply because some ideology says so. Ideologies that are being imported from the West and forced upon us, which here at Nations Watchmen we want to stand against, and we do not want those things to come. There are activists, as I said, who are pushing these narratives on us here in Sri Lanka. Activists from US based organizations, from the US government, the United Nations, various UN bodies, CEDAW, and such like leftist organizations who want to force these things upon us. But we stand for truth and morality, and we ask you to stand with us as well so that we can all work together and protect our country, Sri Lanka. And this goes for every country, like the people in that country. We stand with you as well and encourage you to use our content, use our information, and create content, and feel free to take it and use it and publicize it in your place as well. And we would love to hear from you. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, share these videos with your friends and family, workplace, and speak out for the truth. Link to us, add your channels to us in the comments, and we will watch your videos as well and comment on them as well. And let's work together to protect this country, to protect our children, to protect our youth from all the people who try to influence them and manipulate them and brainwash them and indoctrinate them. This is Dimitri Fernando for Nations Watchman, signing off for now.